1, 2, 3.
Hello everyone, this is Kyle Galaz with Poor2Pro Car Sales Training Podcast. Become a sales titan. We're in season 7. This is episode 8. We're going to be talking about commission breath. Interesting topic, but very relevant to us in sales because we have to make sure that we don't have commission breath. And we're going to expand on that. We're going to be talking about what it is, how you get it, and how to get rid of it. Thank you for all the support in the podcast. Thank you for sharing the podcast. It means a lot to me when I get to reach new people, new listeners, and they friend request me or follow me on Instagram or Facebook. And these are people that you've probably told the podcast about. So thank you guys for sharing the podcast, and I really appreciate all the support. I hope you guys enjoyed the last episode, season 7, episode 7. I got to do that with my wife here in person. She's been a very important part of my success in the car business, and what a support she's been in this journey we call life in the car business and car sales and management. In any role that you're in the car dealership, it's nice having a cheerleader on the side waiting for you and supporting you and helping you get to the next level. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. I had a few comments on it. People reached out saying it helped them think of new ideas in their relationship to, help, because we work a lot of hours in the car business, and a lot of times our relationships suffer because of that. So hope that episode helps. Thank you, Candle. Her link is in the description of that episode if you want to friend her on Facebook or follow her. So let's get into this episode. Commission breath. What is commission breath? Commission breath doesn't smell nice and minty to customers. Commission breath is something that happens when we're desperate for a sale, when we're hoping to get this sale, and the customers can smell it on us. They know that you're not looking out for their best interest. You're looking for that sale. All they can smell from your words that you're saying is you need a sale desperately. Sometimes we think that we're saying the same things and we're doing the same things, but we're not making as many sales. Well, we may be saying the same things and doing a lot of the same things, but the perception from our customer may be different because of how we are saying those same things. Are we in a more desperate tone? Are we trying to speed through the process? Are we doing something that the customer is picking up on and they can tell that, wait a second, this salesman is just trying to make a sale. He's saying everything right, but I can just detect he's not looking out for my best interest. He's looking out for his best interest or her best interest. And that is commission breath. And commission breath is a vicious cycle, because the more desperate we get for a sale, the worse it gets to make that sale. We've all been in that downward spiral where all you want to do is make a sale, and you're taking up after up, and you're making calls, and you're getting in front of the correct amount of people for what would be, it's supposed to be good results, but you're not getting those results. It's not happening for you, and you're getting more and more desperate, and you're trying to figure out what is going on, and you may be second guessing your career and second guessing if car sales is for you, and what's really happening is that customer that was possibly there to buy detected that commission breath, detected that desperation, and decided, you know what, we're going to keep looking. We appreciate your help. Can I get your card? Okay, we'll be in contact. We're just kind of hungry, and we got a few chores to do today. We've all heard that, and we all believe that at some point, that they have chores to do after 10 minutes of being on the car lot. Nobody goes to the car lot to look for 2 minutes and then have to leave for an appointment. It's because something put them off, and most likely it's that commission breath. Think about bad breath in general. Do you like talking to somebody up close with bad breath? No. And a lot of times that person with bad breath doesn't even know they have bad breath. But you don't want to be in that conversation at all. Well, think about that customer when they smell that commission breath, and all you want to do is make that sale, and you can't detect that you're putting out a certain vibe, but the customer can. So when I talk about a vicious cycle, the more desperate we get for a car sale, the farther car sales get from us. So what do we got to do to fix that? That's what we're going to talk about in this episode. How do we get commission breath? Commission breath a lot of times happens without us realizing it. You miss one sale, you maybe shortcutted something, or the customer was too negative. Maybe it was something not in your control. Customer couldn't get approved. They had too much negative equity, or you didn't have the vehicle in stock. And, it just puts a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth, because if you had the right vehicle, or if they would have got a bank approval, they would have agreed and bought the car. So it's a subtle thing that happens. That one car deal kind of puts you sideways a little bit, maybe tweaks your day a little bit, because you were so close and you spent a lot of time with that customer on the lot and it didn't happen. So that is a defining moment in a car salesperson's day, that you can let it roll off your back like water on a duck, or do you fester on it? Do you talk about it? Do you tell coworkers, man, I had them closed and we couldn't get them approved, stupid banks, they were so buried, I wish my manager didn't hit it so hard. If we had a few $1,000 more, we would have made the deal. These things start putting you in that downward spiral, and then you get your next customer. Well, you're so crapped out from the previous customer that now you're in this next customer, and you don't have that same pizzazz, that same positivity, that same, thing that makes salespeople successful, that X factor of, wow, who is this person I want to buy from? It's missing out of your skill set, because you're kind of crapped out from that last deal. So now you're just looking to get to the chase. You just want to see if this is a real buyer, and you start maybe speeding through the process, and you have a slight desperation in your voice, even though, yes, you are saying the same things, right? You're saying the same word tracks. You're going on the demo drive, but there's something about the words that you're saying, even though they're the same, that is off-putting to a customer, and the customer is detecting that you are more desperate, and you may not be looking out for them. And that's how commission breath comes about. It creeps up on us. It doesn't happen one day. One day after a week of great sales, do you decide, I want to be desperate? No, desperation comes from little things that happen, and you start getting more and more desperate. And that's how you get that commission breath. And you don't realize you have it because it's creeped up on you. But by the time that customer finally gets in front of you that may want to buy, that breath is so bad, that commission breath is so bad, it's kind of gross sounding, that you're off-putting, and the customer doesn't buy. Now, how long can commission breath last? I've seen people get commission breath and blow out of the car business. I've physically watched this happen to car salespeople that get flustered, and they get a little sideways, and they just can't dig themselves out of it. And no matter how much you try to coach them and tell them, hey, you need to calm down, slow your ropes, start from the beginning, and you try to coach them out of it, they are so desperate to make a sale that they end up thinking that the car business is not for them. And maybe some people can't make it in the car business. We've ran into those people. More power to them if they can find more success outside of the car business. But for the most part, people can get good at the car business. So, how long can it last? It can last a long time, or it can last one day. It can last 1 hour if someone can snap you out of it. Or do you have the discipline and the know-how to snap yourself out of it, because you can actually pick up on it? There was a month I had back in, I think it was 2010. I had commission breath. I had no idea I had it. I kept telling the other salespeople, I told my manager, I'm saying the same thing. I'm doing the process. I just can't seem to put deals together. And they're like, Kyle, you're snake bit this month. You're snake bit. And then we laugh about it. I'm like, well, dude, I don't know what is going on. But now that you look back and, hindsight is 20/20, things are always clearer after you passed them up and you can look back. I look back and I had commission breath. I was so desperate to make a sale that all those little intricate things that I usually do to make that sale, to make the customer love me, to make the customer feel open and charmed, I wasn't doing. I was still doing the steps of the sale. I was still doing a great walk around, but I was missing those key factors that make a salesperson charming, make a salesperson inviting to come in and work numbers and put a customer at ease, because I was looking out for me. I wasn't looking out for the customer. And sometimes when we get in that moment, in those tough times, we're short to snap at customers, Oh, I want to look at this white one. Oh, okay, I thought you came in for the black one. We're not being very inviting and hospitable to these customers. Yeah, absolutely. Let me pull the white one up next to the black one, and let's compare them and see which one you like more. Instead of saying that, I might have been snappy with the customer. So you got to be careful in that commission breath, and try to snip it right then and there if you can detect it. If you can detect it. Otherwise, you need someone else to help snap you out of it. And the way you can tell you have commission breath is if you've gone a week or 2 weeks without selling anything. You have it. You just don't know you have it. If your store is kicking butt, and in weekends, or you're selling 30-40 cars in a weekend, your store's killing it, or maybe more. Some volume stores, they sell a couple hundred in a weekend, and you've only sold one or two of that, and you were there just as much time as everybody else, you may have commission breath. You may need to check yourself and restart. My question to you, and think about your career, have you ever had it before? Have you ever had commission breath before? Take a moment. Look back, think about it. I can think back to a couple months in my career where I had horrible months. My lowest month in the car business is 2.5 cars. 2.5 cars all month. My daughter London, who's 15, could sell more than that in a week. Because I was so messed up in the head with this commission breath, so worried about making sales that I was screwing stuff up without even realizing it. And, there's other factors in having bad months too. It's not just, you have commission breath and you're desperate. What happens when you're sick? What happens when you go on vacation? What happens when inventory is so low you don't have anything? Like, there were some times. What happens when your manufacturer of the brand you're selling has a stop sale or a big recall, or, incentives aren't that great? There's other reasons why a sales person can have a bad month. I'm not saying there's not other factors. But for the most part, if you want to find the true problem, you have to look inward and stop blaming the outward. You have to stop blaming all the other factors, because success can be found in any dealership, and success can be found in any economy. We create our own success. So when you're having these moments of down, think about this. You can do it. You can get yourself out of it. And one bad month doesn't make a bad year. One bad year doesn't make a bad career. So don't worry about some of the down times, but recognize that, man, my store is kicking butt, but I'm not. These are the things you need to start detecting about yourself. Now let's talk about the customer's point of view. The customer comes in, they're happy-go-lucky. They may have a tough face on, or they got their cards close to their chest and they're putting their defenses up. But I promise you, when customers go to shop for cars, inside they're giddy. They want to see the new products. They want to see what's new. They want to look at new colors. Whether they tell you that or not, think about when you go to a store, and you're interested in electronics, or you're interested in clothes, or you're interested in watches. You may have your guard up and may not want to spill the beans that you're excited, but shoot, you're probably excited to go see those watches or those clothes or that restaurant. You just may not show it. So remember that when you're helping a customer, let's talk about that customer point of view. They are excited to come into the dealership. They haven't been to your dealership in a while, maybe never. They're new to town. They just moved there. There's so many people moving around in the United States right now that you're probably talking to somebody that's from out of town right now. And this is their first time to come to your lot. Now, when that customer comes to your lot, do they know you're at one car for the month and it's the 15th? No, they don't. Do they know that you've just had a string of bad credit customers and you haven't been able to get anyone approved in a week? No, they don't. Right? The customers don't know. You have a clean slate with them. So this is where being very professional and starting fresh with each customer comes in handy. So the customer's point of view is they're coming in a lot. They're happy to see the new cars. You have a great looking inventory. You have maybe the vehicle they're looking for. They pull right up to it. They get out, and you come up with this commission breath and you talk them right out of a car deal. It's one of my actually my first episode, turn lookers into buyers, not buyers into lookers. We all know that salesperson that's darn good at handing out brochures and getting water bottles for people, and they leave with their same car. All right, you turned a buyer into a looker. So from the customer's point of view, they come in excited. You come up with this commission breath, and you don't tell them you're having a bad month. Of course, no one tells customers I'm having the worst month of my life, but it comes out of your pores. It's the way you speak. You're unhappy with your job. You're unhappy with your dealership. You're unhappy with your manager. You're unhappy with the banks. You're unhappy with the incentives. You're unhappy with the products. You're unhappy with the weather. You're unhappy with everything. And that may not have happened. That may not have been your attitude a month ago when you sold 25 cars. But this month you're at 1 by the 15th and you have that attitude now. You totally forgot how successful you can be. And now you're talking with that customer with this attitude. Guess what happens? You turn that potential buyer and that beautiful attitude that they have into someone sour or someone that doesn't want to do business there, and they go to the other competition and buy their product. Remember, true competition is not the other product, it's the other salesperson over there being more convincing and being able to get them through the process. Okay? Customers can detect commission breath. Now, can your managers and your coworkers? Sometimes. If they're a good manager, they're going to detect something's definitely off, and you're trying to cut to the chase of the sale and cut corners. I know when I'm watching my sales guys, I see it. Did they go on the test drive? Did they like the car? Oh, they didn't go on the test drive. Go drive them before we work numbers. I mean, this is a job as a manager to help salespeople not take shortcuts and do the right things, because guess what? There's someone above me at my dealership that does that to me. Kyle, are you doing this? Yep. Kyle, you doing that? Absolutely. Kyle, did you do this? Yep, absolutely. I don't take shortcuts. I don't want to be that manager. And the same thing with salespeople. You don't want to be that salesperson that takes shortcuts thinking they're getting closer to the sale. So your managers and your coworker salespeople may be able to detect it. And if you have a good circle around you, they may be able to call you out on it. Say, hey, I noticed you're taking a lot of shortcuts recently, and I know you're struggling for the month, but maybe go back to the basics, right? And that's what we're going to talk about. How do we get over the commission breath? How do we get back into that positive groove and where we're charming customers and we're kicking butt and taking names and we're staying out of the huddles and you can just smell the success on you? That is where we got to get to if we're having this commission breath. So how do we hide commission breath? It is tough to not wear it on your face when you're having a bad month. It is tough. Don't get me wrong. But this is where we have to go back to the extreme basics of the car business. Am I being charming? Am I building a friend? Am I skipping the steps? Am I doing the things that I know works? Or am I taking shortcuts? Am I not wearing a smile? Am I just waiting to clock out? You know, are we obsessed with the car business, or are we obsessed with getting off of work? These things can come out of your aura when you're helping customers. When you know that you love your job, guess what? Your customers also know that. So if you can have that positive energy, that's a great way of hiding the commission breath, because guess what? You can't stay down in the dumps forever. It just doesn't happen. The car business is peaks and valleys. The key is to have more peaks and higher valleys, so your average is always higher. It'd be nice to say your good months are 20 to 25 and your bad months are 15 to 18. Wouldn't that be nice to say? To say that's what we got to get to. So hiding the commission breath is extremely good. It's like putting a mint in your mouth, right? So let's think about, what do we do to put the mint in our mouth? One is attitude. Attitude is altitude. The better the positive attitude, the higher you fly. You soar with eagles. You're not sitting in the swamps with the ducks. So think about that. Are you an eagle or are you a duck? You got to be an eagle soaring way up there, right? And that takes attitude. Attitude is altitude. So a great attitude is the perfect start. Also, not skipping the steps of the sale, not bebopping around what's important, the walk around, the building a friend, the rapport building, the needs assessment. You got to do these things when you're trying to break out of that commission breath. And really, we should be doing this all the time. You should never actually get out of it. But these are the steps on how to get rid of commission breath. So going back to the basics, having a killer attitude, and knowing that this fresh customer you're talking to doesn't know you're having a bad month. Let's not show them that you're having a bad month through your attitude, through your body language, through your verbalization of things. We got to hide it. We have to get rid of it. Now, can commission breath come back? It can. It can. If you've had enough bad months in your career and you've had months where you couldn't pay your bills, you probably won't want that to happen again. And a lot of times when you've been beaten down enough times in the car business, you never want to return to that area, and you don't. Especially if you have people relying on you like a family. Or you have roommates and you got to pay your part of the bills. You don't want to put that on them. And if you truly want to be that professional and you want to be a standout from the crowd, yes, you might have a bad month here and there, but that's it. Hey, I learned my lessons. I'm moving forward. That'll never happen again. I'll never be in the dumps again. And I'll never allow myself as a professional to let a customer detect my desperation for a car sale. Never let a customer smell my commission breath, right? We got to get out of it. What's the solution to never getting it again? Is sometimes having it. Sometimes having commission breath and having those bad months teach us how to never want to do that again. Sometimes you got to go through the trenches to make it to the mountaintops. When I don't know if you guys ever been hiking, but a lot of the toughest parts of when I was hiking was that very beginning, because your legs are warming up and you already want to quit after a mile, and then the very end, the middle, you're kind of warmed up and you got snacks to eat, but on that last stretch of a couple miles before you hit your camp at 11,000 feet, and after 12 miles of hiking uphill, that last mile is treacherous. So sometimes going through these things, we can learn a lesson. So now when you go hiking again, you know how to handle it. Okay, in the beginning, I'm going to be tired. That's just because I'm not warmed up. And at the end, I need to conserve as much energy and snacks so I can get up there and make it to the end. Well, same thing with commission breath and bad months. If you know you're having a bad month and maybe it's the 10th and you're only at 1 unit, you have to realize, okay, what do I normally do when I'm having a great month? Oh yeah, let me get back to those things. Let me get back to having a smile. Let me get back to doing what's right. Let me get back to putting the customer first, because customers can detect. Remember, these are smart people. Customers can detect if you're putting them first or you're putting yourself first. Okay, so remember that when you're helping customers. Look out for them. Slow down. Trust your skill set. Customers don't know that you haven't sold a car in a while and having a bad month. Get back to the basics of taking care of your customers, and the sale will come sometimes when you're not even looking for it. Sometimes when you're just doing the right thing and helping somebody out, showing them the features, they start saying buying cues, like, what will my payment be? What kind of interest rates do you have? What do you think my trade's worth? Do you guys take in trades? These are all little things that are saying, I want to buy this car, but I don't want to tell you I want to buy this car. But these are the words that customers say when they want to move forward, and you have to be able to detect that. So when you're helping customers and you're truly putting them first and foremost, the sale will come. It's, when you're trying to force something, sometimes it doesn't happen. But when you just let it do its thing and you let it run its course, it happens perfectly. The same thing in car sales with the commission breath. So remember this next time you're out on the car lot. Look out for your customer and let them know that they're very important and their business is important, and the fact that they came to your car lot is important. And slow yourself down. Be positive, wear a smile, and remember, attitude is altitude. The higher you fly with your attitude, that you get to soar with the eagles. And guess who the eagles are in the car business? These are sales titans. These are people that hold high averages. These are people that are 15, 20, 25, 30 cars a month. And if you don't believe me, message me and I'll send you links to people that are selling 20 plus cars a month in and month out, 30 plus cars a month in and month out. Those are the eagles of the car business, and these are the kind of people that I like surrounding myself around, and you should too. So if you have somebody at your dealership that is continuously hitting 20, 30 cars a month, 15 plus. Hang around them if you're going to talk with somebody. Don't hang around the guy that can't get over 10. Don't hang around the buddy at work that can't hit over 8. Those are the ducks. And I'm not knocking them, because we've all been a duck at one point. I've had duck months. Trust me, the car business is up and down, but choose your peers and who you hang around with wisely, because if you learn your skills and you listen to car sales tips from people that can't get over 10, guess what skill set you're going to have? You're going to have the 10 car a month skill set. But if you surround yourself with the people that are hitting the high numbers, guess what's going to happen? You're going to learn some new tricks of the trade. That's why podcasts and getting the information you can to learn as much as you can is so important. And I'm so proud of you for making it this far. I hope you guys have a wonderful day at the dealership, whether you're heading into the dealership or you're off of the dealership or you're listening at the dealership. Good job for reaching out to new ways to get better in the car business, and we have to avoid the commission breath. Thank you guys a lot for listening. Kyle Galaz, signing out.